Dennis Emmanuel Brown was born on 1 February 1957 in Kingston, Jamaica, into a large tenement yard between North and King Streets. His father, Arthur, was a respected actor, journalist, and scriptwriter, and his family environment nurtured early performance instinct. He lost his mother in the 1960s, which deepened his emotional connection to music as solace and expression. By age 9, Dennis was singing in public, standing on beer crates during performances with Byron Lee and the Dragonaires at community events. A standout invitation at Kingston's Tit for Tat Club saw him perform with the Falcons, leading to his discovery by Studio One's Clement Coxon Dodd. At 11, Dennis recorded his debut single and album, No Man is an Island, planting the first seeds of a legendary career. Studio Teenage star to Roots Innovator, 1970s. Between ages 12 and 14, he recorded If I Follow My Heart, further refining his musical identity at Studio One. As he entered his teens, Dennis collaborated with producers like Winston Niney, Holness, and Joe Gibbs. Hits like Westbound Train, Cassandra, and I Am the Conqueror cemented his reputation on Jamaica's charts, with international interest yet to follow. In 1977, Dennis co-founded Deb Records in London alongside Don Miguel and Castro Brown, expanding the UK lovers rock scene and nurturing artists like Junior Delgado. His album Wolf and Leopards, 1977, a bold roots statement produced partly by Lee Scratch Perry, marked his full embrace of Rastafari identity and marked a shift from childhood sensation to mature artist. Released the following year, Visions of Dennis Brown, 1978, blended socially conscious compositions like Repatriation and Jah Can Do It with romantic melodies including Love Me Always, receiving accolades from critics and topping UK reggae charts. Globe showing Europe, Africa, international breakthrough, and Deb's ascendancy. His breakout international success came in 1979 with Money in My Pocket, initially a Discomics remix with DJ Cool Runnings. It became a UK top 40 hit and crossed over to soul and dance music audiences globally. This pivotal success landed him on the cover of NME and marked him as one of reggae's first crossover stars. Through Deb Records, Dennis produced and released his own albums, So Long Rastafari and Joseph's Coat of Many Colors, and promoted other artists. Though the label closed in 1979, the groundwork was laid for decades of independent artistry and creative control. Headphone A&M, digital era and genre bending, 1980s, early 90s. Signed by A&M Records in the early 1980s, Dennis explored pop reggae while maintaining roots authenticity. Albums like Foul Play, 1981, and Love Has Found Its Way distilled political awareness and lovers' rock sensibility. His music continued selling out venues in the UK, especially at Brixton Academy and major reggae events. When digital reggae emerged mid-decade, Dennis adapted adeptly. He released The Exit during the rise of digital instrumentation, solidifying his relevance amid changing trends. Microphone legacy of voice, character, and message. Dennis Brown was more than a prolific artist. He embodied a soulful vibration with emotional tremolo and joyous delivery. Friends and peers observed his natural radiance. Damian Marley described his voice as joyful and warm, like he smiles while he's singing. Freddie McGregor and others emphasized his vibrato-laden tone, built on musical sensitivity. Michael Ebo Cooper, Third World, compared Dennis to global musical icons, crediting him with impact akin to Beethoven or Fela Kuti. Producer Richie Stephens reflected on Dennis's factory of hits. Wherever he went, Sly and Robbie, Scorpio, Jammies, every track struck gold. Chart-increasing mountains of music and final years. Over a 30-year span, Dennis recorded over 75 albums across labels including Studio One, Trojan, Joe Gibbs, Deb, A&M, Shanachi, VP, Heartbeat, and more, sometimes releasing 6 to 7 albums annually. Despite rumors of oversaturation, nearly every release delivered a hit, contributing to his unmatched discography. In the mid-1990s, Dennis earned his first Grammy nomination for Light My Fire, 1994, followed by the posthumously released Let Me Be the One, 2001, under Heartbeat Records. Broken Heart Tragedy at the Peak and National Farewell, 1999. Years of heavy touring and personal struggles with drug addiction eroded Dennis's health. In May 1999, during a tour in Brazil, he was hospitalized with respiratory complications. Upon return, he suffered cardiac arrest and died on 1 July 1999 in Kingston at age 42, officially attributed to a collapsed lung and complications from pneumonia. His funeral, held on 17 July 1999 in Kingston, drew Prime Minister P.J. Patterson, opposition leader Edward Seaga, and numerous musical peers. He was interred in National Heroes Park, the only artist granted that honor, affirmation of his towering place in Jamaican cultural history. Trophy, enduring influence, and cultural reverence. Dennis Brown's influence flows through reggae's veins. Artists like Barrington Levy, Junior Reid, Luciano, Bushman, and Richie Stephens cite him as a defining influence. Despite an enormous catalog, listeners and artists alike praise his unmatched consistency. He's less popular than he could have been because of the ridiculous size of his discography. His vision and lyrics still has so much impact on me. Annually, tributes continue. Birthday events in Jamaica and abroad. The Dennis Brown Trust supporting youth education and music bursaries, and docufilms produced by Jamaica's Ministry of Culture, projecting his message to new generations. Musical notes, discography, and essential tracks. Must-hear albums. No Man is an Island, 1972. Debut recorded at ages 12-13. Wolf and Leopards, 1977. Roots transformation with Deb and Scratch Perry. Visions of Dennis Brown, 1978. A musical and thematic pivot that earned critical acclaim. Foul Play, 1981. The Exit, mid-80s. Blending lovers rock with digital reggae adaptation. Light My Fire, 1994. Let Me Be the One, 2001. Late career maturity and posthumous reflections. Signature songs. No Man is an Island, If I Follow My Heart. Westbound Train, Cassandra, I Am the Conqueror, 90 collaborations. Money in My Pocket, crossover break hit in UK, soul, and dance scenes. Revolution, Africa, Love Has Found Its Way. Here I Come, Silhouettes, Promised Land, emotional, conscious, and romantic pillars. Globe showing Europe, Africa final reflections. Dennis Brown's journey, beginning as a humble Kingston child with a radiant voice, evolving into reggae royalty, celebrates the power of authenticity, prolific creativity, and spiritual resonance. From Studio One to Deb Records, from Wolf and Leopards to global pop crossover, he occupied every lane of reggae. Roots saint, lovers rock heartthrob, and moral storyteller. Despite early death, his voice still echoes across generations. In reggae performances, modern vocalists and global listeners moved by joy, love, and truth in his melodies. His legacy remains a living testament. When you hear Dennis Brown, you hear the crown prince of reggae smiling.